Hello, I'm Tara. I would like to, let's see. I'm going to invite Manuk to join me. Just discussing, you know, what's happening with tomorrow, basically. And do any of you know about what's happening tomorrow? Who just joined? Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Yeah. So Manuk is a Glendale parent, and he is involved in, a lot of the Leave Our Kids Alone movements and stuff. And so I was wondering, how do you respond to the parents who aren't concerned about this issue?
Um, I am first to make a little correction. I'm a LAUSD parent
Oh,
who is
okay.
also very supportive with GUSD parents. And the way I feel is the parents are too much asleep. They all
Mm,
think that if you have money or if you have private schools or if you're doing homeschools, it doesn't concern you. But this does concern everybody because once these bills are passed, they're not going to care or they're not going to stop at homeschools or private schools. If anything,
mm,
Catholic schools has already approved the LGBTQ agenda all over their schools.
wow.
So parents need to wake up and they need to wake up now because tomorrow after tomorrow everything's already too late, you know.
Mm. Yeah, and we'll talk about that too. My second question is probably, what's your response to some of the allegations that Leave Our Kids Alone is a hateful movement, a bigoted movement that promotes trans and LGBT kids to commit suicide, and even up to the recent allegation that we've been hearing about how Leave Our Kids Alone is in support of a man who recently killed a LGBT store owner in Lake Arrowhead. What's your response to these allegations that Leave Our Kids Alone is getting?
We just want to be transparent. We want to know the truth about our children. I love my children more than life itself. For one guy to kill another person and have the whole straight community blamed for it, well, here's the thing. A trans person walked into a school and shot a bunch of children. So what am I supposed to say? Trans people are dangerous and they make mass murderers? No, it was one bad apple who decided to take a weapon and walk inside the school and start shooting kids. I'm not going to judge all the trans people because of this one apple. But the trans community seems like they want to blame the straight parents for everything that everyone else is doing.
Mm,
I love my children. Just because of one bad apple parent that will go berserk on their child because they want to change their gender identity, that doesn't make me the berserk parent as well.
mm,
I love my children. I will support them regardless of the life decisions they make, but not when they're 12 years old or 8 years old. They're still little babies and their brain is like milk, it's still developing. So these kids are being brainwashed and being kept in the dark from the parents' secrets, which is telling our children to lie to parents, which is not what we are fighting for as parents, because we teach our kids to be honest and not to lie and not to keep secrets from parents. But the school district is not, they're not in favor of that. They're like, lie to your parents, keep secrets, and then they want to call me all these bunch of names because I love my kids and I want to be involved in their life. Why
yeah.
why am I doing all this? Because I love my kids, not because I hate certain community. No, this is what they want us to say, and we're not gonna fall for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's awesome. So thank you for clarifying that basically those issues are unrelated, that this hate crime and everything is unrelated to what Leave Our Kids Alone stands for. So,
Exactly. Leave our kids alone stands for only to protect our children, our own children. We don't want to be kept in the dark when it comes to our kids, and we want to be notified for everything that happens in our schools. And as parents, I think we deserve the right to know what is happening in our schools with our children.
And speaking of which, what is your goal with August 25th, which is tomorrow? It's Friday. What is your goal with that?
Our goal is to reach as many parents as possible who couldn't make it to the protest in person, whether that be in Sacramento or LA, which was day before yesterday. So if you couldn't make it in any one of those protests on August 25, on August 21 or August 22nd, on August 25 is the second phase of this rally, which is to keep your
Mm,
children home statewide, which will show the government that on that bridge on August 22nd was not only a few hundred people, but few thousand people. By not sending your children home, you will join that rally. So please
absolutely.
keep your children home on August 25, which is tomorrow, Friday. So you have a
Okay.
3-day weekend.
So what is hurting schools?
Right now, instead of they're concentrate on teaching children learning reading, writing, mathematics, like hiring extra tutors to have children to tutor, because our academic is very low. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about that. They
Mm,
only care about this agenda that's being brainwashed our kids, and
yeah.
it's not right. Instead of teaching parents how to deal with their children, instead of having like a one-on-one sessions with parents and transitioning children, or educating them, or giving them help, or because it's not every day parents wake up to their children want to change their sexual identity, you know.
Yeah.
So parents
Yeah,
do need
absolutely.
assistance, and parents do need help, you know. Help these parents, not keep them in the dark, in a secret, and let them know only when it's already too late, when you already done perform some surgeries or give my children
Yeah.
injections. You are creating problems within the family by not involving the family with the school's choice and your children's choice.
Absolutely. And I have one more question for you about tomorrow. I've heard that keeping kids home might hurt schools and teachers. Is this true?
Yes, definitely will hurt their pocket because children get paid daily if they attend school. Once you keep your children home by the thousands, the government does not get paid for all those children being absent. And parents do not have to worry about excusing their children. If you do not excuse your child from school, they will not get paid. So all you have to do is just take them back to school on Monday without an excuse slip, and that you'll be good. They can't
I
say
see.
nothing.
So we can create a powerful message that will basically hurt the government and will make an impact if we do not take our children to school tomorrow, who are in unified school districts. And it's not going to hurt education. It's going to be a helpful message to get attention for Leave Our Kids Alone. And so that's why it's so important tomorrow to, you know, give your kids a day off from school, go to the beach, go hang out, have a family day,
Exactly.
and let the government absorb the hurt of this message that parents are hurt.
Yes, and I have one more few things just to add real quick. The LGBTQ community on August 22nd tried to make this thing about themselves. But we are fighting right now AB 1078.
Mm,
AB 1078 has nothing to do with children or gay community. It has something to do with the school boards and the government. The government trying to take over school board out of the system and controlling the schools themselves. So how is this about a hate crime? How is this about homophobia? See, these
yeah,
people, they just want to label you because you want to speak and you want to stand up.
yeah.
They don't want to do the research why you want to speak or what you want to speak on. And we are fighting 1078. We're fighting AB 665, AB 957, and AB SB 596. So these have nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. This is
Mm,
strictly against the LAUSD and California. And second, no parent got arrested. Now, one parent got arrested or hurt. There was no accidents, no one get hurt. The only people that got arrested was Antifa, and because they were punching and throwing bottles at the police officer and they were not being
mm.
cooperative. So that's why they got arrested. Thank God
Yeah,
no
and
parent got arrested.
Yeah, and I was there, and I have to say it was a really cool experience, a well-organized event, just from
Yeah,
regular
it was.
just from regular parents. And so, can you also just explain excused versus unexcused absences? We don't want any kids to get in trouble for any of
Well,
this, right?
yes, they cannot get your child into trouble if you don't have an excuse for them. You could just simply keep them home, and you don't need to take the excuse slip saying my child was sick or had a doctor's appointment. None of that. You just have to just take them to school and say I don't have an excuse slip. It's an unexcused absent. That's why they will not get paid for it. If you excuse your child, they would have an excuse for your child and they will still get paid. So we cannot send
Mm,
an excuse with our children to school saying, please excuse my child. No, we do not need your excuse. This is a rally, this is a protest, and we're pulling our children out on our own free will, you know?
absolutely. So just to recap everything before we end the live, and we even have a question, why keep your kids home on August 25th, which is tomorrow? And just to recap, it's basically do not excuse your children from school. Leave it as an unexcused absence. And we're trying to get the numbers up, spread the message about, not taking your kids to school tomorrow. And when the numbers get up into the thousands, like Manuk was saying, then it'll send a very clear message to the government and it'll actually have an impact on them. So maybe they start actually listening to people who are trying to protect parental rights and, people who are standing up for their children and the safety of their children, frankly. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Manuk. And it's in California for that person who just asked. But yeah, thank you so much, Manuk, for clarifying. And yeah, we can do this again if we have any more questions.
Yes, everybody's joining from Sacramento to San Diego. We just want transparency. We want to be informed what's happening with our children, and just to let all the viewers know. If you are saying, what have you accomplished with all these things you are doing? Well, check this out. Temecula just passed the law on August 22nd that the parents have to be informed of what's happening with their children. Chino got the same thing. Marietta got the same thing. Why is it so hard for LA to be able to get the same thing? It shouldn't be. Every district should be able to go with this parental notification and we should get it. And we will do so by joining forces and creating a minority alliance where we all stand together and show our unity and our solidarity that we are as one and we will fight as one and we will not be quiet. August 25, do not send your children to school statewide, all religions, all nationalities. God bless.